I reckon, Cronulla the year before, but it was the crowd. There was a lot more even this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot more purple in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like there was the year before.
Nice moment here. Kids are down the end. I was a bit shocked, actually. A bit surprised. Hey, guys.
They're there.
Yeah, there's my kids. High-fiving. Oh, all the boys' kids.
I probably usually don't take too much of it in and look around and that sort of thing, but I think we had Richie McCaw come in that week and speak to us, and I think one of the advice that he offered up was about taking in those moments and embracing it, and I think that's something that I sort of haven't really done in big games and that sort of thing, and I think this is probably one of the first games where I've actually reflected and embraced and had a good look around, and I'm glad that I did.
I just remember looking at my family, my daughter and that, and my grandfather, my mum and that, and just thinking, bloody hell, we made it, you know. And, yeah, I just got so emotional, just embracing the crowd and just everyone there, and I got so emotional, yeah. It's a proud moment.
I didn't notice that, eh? I didn't notice that on the night, eh? Did that quite well, guys.
And it's Cameron Smith, the all-time games record holder. To get the grand final of 2017 underway. It's a shallow one. It goes down to be taken by Lachlan Coote. And Scott Bolton it is.
Oh!
Don't remember too much, but looking up at the end and showing it to Munster, I knew Coote was going to slide, and I looked for Dale on the inside, but Martin was all over him, so I decided to hold the ball, and I didn't do that, but...
Oh, he wasn't happy to be there.
I was filthy at myself for dropping that one, but confident after that.
I must say, I did feel a little bit sorry for Sean Fenton. I've always admired that guy as a player, you know, for 3 or 4 years down at Canberra there. He was their rock, you know, and poor bugger to play in his first grand final and break his leg. That was you know, a terrible time for him, but yeah.
To Will Chambers, he finds some space and links up with Aaron Carr. He gets past Coote, nobody in front of him. Morgan can't track him down. They'll go 90 metres to score the first try of the grand final.
You boys did a lot of work on that throughout the year, though, eh? Just getting back behind the footy, being available.
Yeah. Man, I was so tired when this happened.
Yeah.
You see my feet there in that.
I'm in the background 20 metres from where Chambers got it or whatever. I didn't move and saw Addo going down the field. I knew he was gone. I think I pop up in the background somewhere.
It was like that. That's a massive play for us, like, because the game was just going back and forth, wasn't it? Like, there was no real sort of favour to one team. It was in the balance at the time, and for Will to come up with a big play like that, and obviously Joshy to be in that position.
I think you know, that backs up what you were saying about it was just to and fro, and there wasn't much break in it. Yeah, it's Josh when he scores here, Curtis gets there, but it's
there's no one there.
there wasn't a whole heap of blokes coming, you know, sprinting in. You know, they were tired, you know, taking the rest, I suppose. But it just goes to show how quick the game was.
Yeah. Oh, you went for the big You've probably been thinking your whole life. Hey, you've probably been thinking your whole life, if I score in a grand final, I'm just going to toss it. You didn't get to do it.
I was thinking, I hope none of the boys touched it when they rebounded it back there. But...
It's Cronk in behind Kafusi. Slater's there again. Billy Slater.
Yeah, this is obviously a great moment for Billy personally, just for what he went through over the last couple of seasons to, one, be back in a grand final again, sitting out 2016 without having any sort of influence on that game. But then to go on and score a try in a grand final was a special moment for himself. But I think for the whole team, like, you see how we all get down here and embrace him to celebrate that try. It was a great moment for our team, I think. So this is right on half time, eh, fellas?
Yeah. I remember this
right
one.
on half time.
Did you think you were a chance here?
Me?
like as he was lining up to kick it, I know it didn't probably get to the right spot. It was just off, but
I thought it was just going to come straight to me, but I didn't see it felt. And then I just seen him come out of nowhere and catch it, and then I was just like, bloody hell, I've got to get on my bike here and chase him.
Even when he first got the ball, you didn't think, well, it's half time, so that's it type thing. And then all of a sudden he beat, Josh has gone past the ball and he beat Curtis, and I think he beat Torhu, and then all of a sudden he did get.
Timmy's coming.
Even now you're not too worried, but when he went past Nelson, and I seen Tim there, I think he ain't going to catch him. But with all due respect to him, thank you. Just see Josh go past everyone and actually make the tackle.
I think those numbers there sort of represent what we're about, though.
Yeah.
We've always prided ourselves on our effort, first and foremost, and to have not being content with the scoreline at that stage. I think, what was it, 18? Was it 18-0?
Yeah.
And I think that the half-time sirens going at that moment, to have, what do we got there? 10 people chasing one of their players. Pretty much sums up what we're about.
Especially outside, but I think he beat Billy here too, and then Josh comes and makes the tackle, I think. Yeah, there he is.
He's fair
off from first.
I'm on his back too.
That work, boys. I think I'm just getting to all the players there just to congratulate them on a really good half of footy. That was possibly the toughest 40 minutes we played all year, wasn't it? You reckon?
Yeah.
He's up there.
Toughest game I've ever played.
Should be too.
Yeah, so I was just about saying that we've done a good job and just get back in the sheds and refocus.
I think I did send a message down, and I don't send a whole heap of messages down because of, with Cooper, Billy and Smithy sort of run the show, but I think I sent one down a couple of minutes before half time. If we get a chance, perhaps we might, take the 1 point at half time, to be over 3 tries there. I think, would have been, great for us, but like I say, I wasn't, I wasn't concerned about too much at half time. I can't even remember that there would have been a couple of things that I said at half time that we were able to improve in. It was a quick game of footy, and I think the way we prepared down here in our training, I was very confident that we'd finish the game strong as well. And then this happened.
Only blemish on the game, really.
They had quite a few sets on our line there too. Felt like they had a lot of momentum, and for them to get that try, sort of, I think...
Especially on the 5th tackle, that was probably... in us a little bit, but...
I think the fact that they scored gave us a chance to reset a bit, and I remember behind the try line, that's what we spoke about, just getting back to the job, and we sort of managed to get the momentum back a bit after this point, which was good.
That try come about because of what I've done there on the try line, where I come from the outside of Michael Morgan and just open up some space for Martin. But I remember coming into this game, and throughout the whole week, I don't think I mentioned it to anyone, but I made a personal focus on trying to shut down Michael Morgan's kicking game. He'd had a fantastic final series for him, hadn't he?
Yeah, no.
Particularly his kicking, he used that as an extra weapon for their team. Because I watched nearly every one of their finals games leading up to this one, and I just had a quite a narrow focus to try and put a lot of pressure on him, and that one there, it was out of our system, and unfortunately it ended up in a try. I was very filthy with myself, to be honest. Very filthy.
Smith comes back. McLean handed came up on him.
Jordan McLean's been really good. He was really good at getting quick play the balls for us throughout the year. He did so on this occasion, and I just remember sort of looking at Smithy close to the line here, and as to say, hit me short here if I'm a genuine option. So I was hoping that he was going to hit me. I wasn't 100% sure whether he was. And then when I got the ball, I was I think I cradled it to the ground. You can see, I think my head hits the ground first before the ball does. I cradled it to the ground like a baby because I didn't want to drop the ball. And then once I did ground it, you can see how excited we all are there that.
Where are you going, mate? Where are you going?
Going a bit of a think. So I remember thinking at that time when we did score, obviously, and again we were 3 tries in front. My whole focus then was basically on. I think the message went down that there's got to be a little bit of extra focus on Tomalolo and Morgan. They were the guys that. While the team played really well, consistently well throughout that final series, they were the ones that, if they were going to come back, they were the ones that were going to bring them back. So we had a real focus defensively on those 2 guys.
I think we hugged because we were really happy that Rucky scored, eh?
Yeah.
Hey? We don't get to score many, so...
I think it was a good shot there. All 4 of us Ruckies are all in there,
all together, eh?
Cheering Dale on for the try, but...
we don't get to do that much, eh?
Dale scored, feels like we all did.
The right side's out there hugging each other.
You just looked at yourself with a big screen, eh?
That screen's behind me to the right, actually.
Yeah, there's 2 at that stadium.
It's checking both.
There it is, there's 1.
It just seems there's that try on
You look again.
Just looking for my family.
So Coops has given a message here, obviously what we want to try and do for the last 15. Usually just to shut the game down.
Yeah, he's been a really important part of what we've done here for 15 years, 15 years, and to lose, especially as a halfback, but also as just he's a great player, away from organising and kicking, but he's running game, and we'll miss him, okay. But having said that, people move on. Someone else gets an opportunity, so hopefully they'll take it.
Puts it down at O'Connor in there. He gives it to Carter Scott.
I don't know. The ball just come to me, and I was going to dive on it, but I don't know. I just put my hands down and caught it, and I think it was my only offload all year.
Good offload,
mate. For Curtis to score that try was pretty good, I suppose.
That's a fairly good offload when you have a look at it, to actually get in position to put it back and be aware of, Curtis's position. Yeah.
I think that was a really special part of the young boys' games last year was their instinct.
Yeah.
I think the week before it might have been roles reversed against Brisbane.
Yeah,
First try, I think Curtis took a run, and it was the first try of the game. Curtis took a run and sort of break through and give like a one-handed pass to you, eh, Josh?
Yeah.
And Joshy ran sort of 3/4 of the field to score. It's just really special the way the young boys.
Yeah, I remember after Curtis goes debt paid, so.
Debt paid. Oh, big Jesse.
It's a sealer there.
I think he thinks we won it there.
The whistle went. After that try, I was pretty confident we were going to win that one, and I just think the young fellas that were on our left edge just played a huge part in winning that game that night. Tohu played outstanding. 2 boys that were involved in that play were outstanding. I think the boys just turned on that night, and that's the reward. Setting up each other for a couple of tries.
Yeah, it was unreal. I think at this point as well, I was with Jess. I was pretty sure that we had it wrapped up, and it was a very special moment after a great year. To be able to win a premiership was really special for myself and everyone else in the team.
Oh, yeah, I was...
What did you just say then?
I don't know, actually. Again, I was a bit like Jess, I suppose, probably realised the game was over there, and yeah, obviously, very excited, especially after, as Tim said, the year we had. I think we basically, coaches, went down to the bench after this and, enjoyed the last 5 or 6 minutes down on the sideline. So, yeah, very enjoyable moment.
Yeah, last kick of the game. I think I think my only thought here was just that I wanted to finish strongly for the team, and just that kick still counted. But obviously, I'm showing my my enjoyment there. I knew that the game was over, and I think, like Jesse mentioned before, about sort of knowing that the game was over in the big matches. Very rarely do you get that opportunity, sort of have a little bit of time still on the field where you've won. They usually go right down to the final moment of the game. But it's a really, really satisfying feeling to know that you've won a big match, let alone a premiership, when there's still time on the clock. So it's nice to enjoy those final moments together when you're on the field. Bellyache's enjoying it.
Yeah, actually, on the way down, I've seen my wife, and there's my wife there. Yeah, and there's Adam's wife, and actually my grandkids were there as well, and little daughter, I spent a little bit of time with her after the game, and my daughter was there as well. I actually tried to find my mum, but I bought the tickets. I thought they were around there somewhere, but she was at the other side of the field, so I never got to see her on the night. So that was a little bit disappointing. And my sister was there as well. But as you see there, it's a really nice moment, and then go down, the last 5 minutes of the game to spend with all the other players on the sideline.
We began by wondering, was it Melbourne that puts the finishing touches on one of the greatest seasons we have seen? The answer is an emphatic yes. Premiers once again.
Bit of bromance happening there with Bill, but I think that was more like I don't know if it was relief, but just a nice moment between two of the older players that have been involved in the club for a long time. And I think for my thoughts for Bill was that I was just happy that he got a chance to come back. There was probably moments in those last 2 years that he didn't know whether he'd play again, but he got back to pretty much playing his best football and won another premiership. So that was probably that moment. But I think we were just all really pleased with the outcome of the year, given the amount of work that we put in. I guess the result from the previous year as well, that how disappointed we were. We come as close as you'll ever come, I think, in 2016 without winning it, but we knew that all that hard work had paid off once that siren went.
Yeah, it was unreal. It was something special that I'll remember forever, and not just playing with Cooper, but the group of 17 that we played with that night is just something that we'll share with those boys forever. It's just a memory that I'll have forever. And I remember a moment, I think, before the full-time siren had gone. I think we'd packed down to a scrum, and there was about 3 minutes to go, and I think Jess and I came to each other, and we just hugged each other, and before the siren had gone. But I don't think there was no chance of us as losing at that stage. And I think Billy come over to us and calmed us down. He goes, "Boys, we've still got 3 minutes to play. Let's just play out the whistle." And I was like, "We can't lose from this point." But that was probably the moment where I sort of realised that we couldn't lose the game. But that was a really special moment for me, and obviously this moment going around to the 17 boys that you played that year with, and just embracing each other and what we'd achieved.
There was a fair bit of emotion around the whole game, wasn't there? Like with everyone knowing that it was Coops' last game with us. Billy making it back into a grand final. we had we had a handful of boys playing their very first one.
Yeah, well, we had a few actually.
And
Obviously
then-
Nelson and Curtis and Josh.
And then we had a couple sort of coming off a grand final loss and hadn't won a premiership at that stage, So like there was a fair bit of sort of emotion behind that game leading into it.
Yeah, Billy, can you put into words what it is that a group of fellas can do this? Can you put into words?
Not really, Freddie. It's a lot of hard work, mate. A lot of hard work, and to be as consistent as we were all year, and then start back at the finish line here on Sunday afternoon today. It was a great performance, and it was one that we've been doing it all year, so we were very confident that we could do it.
12 months ago, you had a suit on.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd ever get back here?
I didn't really know, mate. Sorry. I honestly didn't know whether my body would let me back here, and it was the toughest thing I've had to sit through last year. And the boys going so close and being helpless, and I wasn't gonna let that happen today. And yeah, it's a good feeling, mate.
What about your own team? Your wife Nicole and your kids?
Yeah, they've been through the journey with me, and the last 2 years have been really tough on them as it has been on me, and yeah, it's for them to enjoy as well, man.
Last question, mate. Will we see you again next year?
I really don't know yet, Freddie. Look, my body's feeling really good, and I always said it was physical. I love playing this game, and I'll make a decision soon. But look, I'm feeling really good, and I'm just going to enjoy this, mate.
Can you get Daddy to play one more year?
Yeah.
One more year.
For nearly everyone in the team, we're either husbands, fathers, partners. We've got someone away from here that we're not footballers too. We're normal people, and I think that's the way we try to be as players here and as staff. I think the family aspect of our lives is really important, and we try to embrace that as much as we can. We make the family's a big part of our football team, and I think it shows with the post-match stuff. I think all the players' children were on the field. Everyone went over and said g'day and embraced their partners and loved ones in the crowd. So we place a huge emphasis on that at the club. It's a good moment, that one. Darley's coming home again.
I've been fist pumping the whole time. That was not coming.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing to see Cameron lift that trophy up and then, get around it and celebrate like we are there as a team. Like Dale said, it was a pretty special 17, and the rest of the group as well. It was part of the year, and it was a great reward for a really good, consistent year.
Just a bit of a roller coaster year for myself, and to be able to finish with the premiership with the boys, and I can't really describe it, to be honest. It's just a dream come true, and my family and that they're watching. My parents are there, and my wife and 2 kids were there watching in the stands. It's pretty special moment.
You're still going on, mate. He's still fist pumping.
I'll still let him midnight.
Yeah, I think we're all talking about ourselves here, how hard we worked and our teammates, and then we're talking about our families. But there's other people in the club that don't get to play, in the grand final. And that's some players that are very unlucky to miss out or injured, but also other people in the club, obviously the footy staff and also the admin staff. All of them are such an important part of a footy club as well. They're just as important as the players. We need each other, to operate, to to survive, and to have all, as these guys have said a couple of times, all the kids in there and all the other people from the club in there is it's a great moment for those people as well, because they work just as hard as us. They work hard in a different way, but they work really hard, and they're very, very passionate about their footy club. And so not only the 17 players there, it's everybody else that's been in the club that's helped and done something to contribute to what happened that day. It's a great feeling for everyone.